Okay, so if we've tried a whole bunch of things and you're not responding, sometimes we suspend you because I've seen you 72 times for the same action and it's just not getting better. Um, but we don't like to kick kids out of school even for 3 days.
And who makes the final decision? Is it the house principals by themselves, or if, or does it depend on the situation whether or not all three of you come together and decide,
Um,
or
for most minor stuff, like when we're just working discipline one day and we're calling kids, kid after kid after kid, it's one house principal makes those decisions. Now we meet every summer. We meet all the time. We talk on the way to football games. We call each other at night. We text each other at night, and we constantly refine our philosophy. So we trust each other. Um, and pretty much every time, if we are discussing a case and say Miss Potts made a decision and put a student in ISS, sometimes she'll say, "Hey, this happened. What would you have done?" I would have put the kid in ISS, and we're finding that we're always on the same page with it. If it's bigger than that, we all talk. We bring it to committee. I will tell you, Mr. Behringer stays out of it because should a student or parent wish to appeal, he's the appellate level. He's the level one appeal. So he doesn't mess with discipline at all until it's appealed to him.
and if a student is suspended or in ADC, are they allowed on campus?
Nope. Nope. It's a criminal trespass.
Are there certain numbers of strikes a person needs in order to suspend or in order to be suspended?
No, it's individual. It has to do with working with a kid. So I might have one kid who repeats the same behavior 3 times and then he gets suspended. Um, I might have another kid who repeats the behavior 7 times before he's suspended. That would be because he's working with the counselors, he's working with Mr. Tipton, he's working with teachers, and he's showing improvement. We don't expect you to fix all your issues and learn how to cope in this large high school overnight. We are looking for you to make uh, improvements. So somebody who's showing me I'm just not going to cooperate at all, so I'll send them to the counselor and they sit there like a bump on a log and won't talk to the counselor. They won't talk to their teachers. They're probably going to be suspended for a repeated behavior faster than somebody who's they're not doing a great job. But at least they're working. They're giving it all they got, and they're just having a hard time figuring out how to make everything okay at school.
And let's say if a mom tries to argue that her child is innocent, do what do you guys do in that type of situation? Let's say if you guys try to send the child to ADC or make a
Mm-hmm.
decision that even if it's just ISS, what happens if they go home, tell their mom this is what happened, and the mom
Mm-hmm.
comes back and it's just like, well, they're innocent, they did this first, that child
Okay, well,
can.
so you've got a couple of issues you talked about right there. One thing you just said was the other person did this first.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that person is answering for that. Um, this child is answering for his or her actions. So, bad behavior does not excuse bad behavior. Um, both people are held accountable for both of their actions. It's like my kids at home. Um, when my younger boy punches my older boy, and then come to find out he punched my older boy because my older boy pushed him. Well, they're both in timeout. It we didn't justify the push. Did not justify you punching your brother. Okay, you're in trouble because you punched. You're in trouble because you pushed. Go timeout or whatever consequence they get. So that happens, and we have those conversations with parents a lot. We try to have that conversation with students, but especially if it's just right after something happened, you're mad. It's hard for you to hear, but that's what we try to explain all the time. Is that and we're also kind of stuck in a interesting spot because I'm not allowed. Like if you're in trouble because you had a fight with Susie, Susie gets suspended for 3 days. I can't tell you that. Okay, and especially if her consequence isn't suspension, if there's some other consequence and you see her the next day on campus, a lot of times people assume nothing happened to Susie. And I'm legally not allowed to tell you, oh, I know this is what I did to Susie. I can't tell you that. I can just try to reassure you everybody's held accountable for their own actions, and we try to treat everybody equitably but also individually. And